So this is the Blue Valley Railroad. It's HO scale, code 83 track, and the era is probably the 60s and early 70s. The layout's broken into two sections, which we'll see details of pretty soon. First is the town on this side, with the mountain you saw on the left. There's an inner loop that goes around the town, and then there's an outer loop that goes around both sections of the layout. When we get to the middle section of the layout, there's a old quarry with a lake on the bottom that has the couple bridges that go across it that leads us over to the industrial section of the town. What you see has a siding between the inner loop on this side and the loop that goes around. There's what I call a maintenance yard where I store cars. There's another couple sidings, a switchback to move engines around, and then a crossover here in the back. The way the layout is designed is I can move any train from any section by manipulating the switches. They're all tortoise switches, and there's approximately 21 of them across the layout. The rolling stock is a mixed bag of stock I've had since I was a child that's been repaired and replaced and fixed, and stuff that I bought in the last 10 years. I've started to build out my layout. On the edge of town here, right before we get to the industrial part of the city, there's a old quarry with a lake on the bottom and a fishing shack, old mining building. This end of the layout is my industrial section and my yard. So over here there's a couple of sidings. There's a place to store cars. I call it kind of my maintenance facility for my track. Has various pieces of equipment and kind of a holding place for cars. Just come around this side. You get a pretty good idea of the layout. There's a big outer loop that goes around the entire layout. There's an inner loop around the town. Then there's a loop around here around the industrial section. And using the tortoise switches that I've installed, there's 21 of those, I can move any train to any track just by manipulating the switches. I am using JMRI for running my locomotives. I'm just using Decoder Pro. I'm not using any other functions in the application. And I'm running it on the Dell laptop you saw, which is actually pretty old. But JMRI doesn't take much, and it satisfies my needs. Look down here at the industrial section. There's a switch back here where I can run an engine in and back and switch its direction out the other way. At some point in the future, I'm going to see if I can hump the yard. It's actually got a downward slope, and work on moving cars around as I need to. So the rolling stock is a mixture of everything. I've got old, I've got new, stuff I picked up at the train shows, stuff I've ordered online that I've liked. The engines are again a mixture of old and new. Some I bought as new old stock and have repaired them and found decoders in them so they'll run. So I am running a Digitrax DCS 51 Zephyr. I talked about the switches a second ago. This is the control panel that I built that runs the switches. The left side runs switches on the basically on the outside loop, and the switches on the right run all the inside loops. There's a view from on top of the mountain. Two tracks coming across the top. One's at a 4% grade and one's at a 2. I know the grade's kind of high, but makes for more interesting display of engines. So I do have a workbench back here set in the closet. This is my what I'll call repair and electrical and soldering station. I have a painting section back in the utility room by my heater. But since I do buy a lot of old cars and I have a lot of old cars in my possession, there's a fair amount of repair work that I do on them, and something's always kind of falling apart or breaking. But you can kind of see where I work. That concludes my tour. I hope you've enjoyed it and hope to see you soon. And thanks for watching.